rotating magnetic field in three-phase induction motor. In this picture we can see the various part of the induction motor. Here this is the stator winding and this is the rotor. This rotor is mounted on the shaft and one bearing is also there to hold this shaft with the frame. This is the fan for cooling. Stator connection box. This is the terminal box for the induction motor which provides the connection of the stator winding with the external power supply. Here we can see that the induction motor consists of stator and rotor. The stator is a three-phase stationary winding. As we can see here, the rotor is the moving part and the stator winding is stationary. It could be star or delta connected. Here we can see the connection of the delta and star connection. When the AC supply is connected to the stator winding, current IA, IB and IC start flowing. IA, IB and IC are phase shifted by 120 degree with respect to each other as shown here. This is IA and this is IB and this is IC. They are phase shifted with each other by 120 degree. Due to line current, a sinusoidal flux is produced in the air gap. These flux are same in frequency as that of the line current and they also are 120 degree phase shifted with respect to each other as shown in this picture. Phi A, Phi B and Phi C are phase shifted with each other by 120 degree. Let the flux produced by the line current IA be Phi A, that produced by IB be Phi B and that produced by current IC be Phi C. So Phi A is equals to Phi M sin omega t, or we can say Phi M sin theta. This is equation number 1. Phi B is equals to Phi M sin omega t minus 120 degree is equals to Phi M sin theta minus 120 degree. Phi C is equals to Phi M sin omega t minus 240 degree is equals to Phi M sin theta minus 240 degree. Rotating magnetic field. The total flux in the air gap between stator and rotor is equal to the phasor sum of the three component flux Phi A, Phi B and Phi C. In this picture we have considered that the two pole wound in each single phase winding and the stator winding is delta connected while the rotor is there. Here we have considered the 7 cases. Case number 1, when phase A at 0. Case number 2, when the phase C at 0 level. Case number 3, when the phase B at 0 level. Case number 4, when phase A again at 0 level. 5, when phase C at 0 level. 6, when phase B again at 0 level. And 7, when again the phase A at 0 level. Condition number 1, put omega t is equals to 0 degree in equation number 1, 2 and 3. Phi A is equals to Phi M sin omega t. This is equation number 1. Let's substitute omega t is equals to 0. So Phi A is equals to Phi M sin 0 degree is equals to 0. Phi B is equals to Phi M sin omega t minus 120. This is equation number 2. Let's substitute omega t is equals to 0. We get that Phi B is equals to Phi M sin minus 120 degree is equals to minus root 3 by 2 Phi M. Phi C is equals to Phi M sin omega t minus 240 degree. This is equation number 3. Let's substitute omega t is equals to 0 in this equation. We get Phi C is equals to Phi M sin minus 240 degree is equals to root 3 by 2 Phi M. So in this way we get the value of Phi A, Phi B and Phi C. Let's make the phasor diagram for Phi A, Phi B and Phi C. So Phi A is equals to 0 from this equation. So we have considered that Phi A is equals to 0 and Phi B is minus. So Phi B is shifted by 120 degree. So this is the direction of Phi B, but this is negative. Therefore it will go in the opposite direction. So phi b is equals to minus root 3 by 2 by phi m will be here. Next one is the phi c. Phi c is equals to root 3 by 2 and phi c is here. So we will just consider the magnitude is root 3 by 2 phi m here. Now make the phasor sum of phi b and phi c. So the resultant will be here, and to calculate the resultant flux phi t is equals to 2 into OA multiplied by cos alpha by 2. So phi t is equals to 2 into OA. What is the magnitude of this OA? Is magnitude is root 3 by 2 phi m. So we have just substitute the value of OA here multiplied by cos 60 by 2, or we can say phi t is equals to 2 into root 3 by 2 phi m into cos 30 degree. Phi t is equals to 2 into root 3 by 2 phi m multiplied by root 3 by 2. Here 2 will be cancelled out. So 3 in root 3 into root 3 is equals to 3. 3 by 2 is equals to 1.5 phi m. In this way we get the resultant flux phi t is equals to 1.5 times of the maximum flux. Let me consider condition number 2. Put omega t is equals to 60 degree in equation number 1, 2 and 3. Equation number 1, phi a is equals to phi m sin omega t is equals to phi m sin 60, because we have considered that omega t is equals to 60 degree, is equals to root 3 by 2 phi m. Phi b is equals to phi m sin 60 degree minus 120 degree, because omega t is equals to 60 degree. So phi b is equals to phi m sin minus 60 degree minus root 3 by 2 phi m. Phi c is equals to phi m sin 60 degree minus 240 degree is equals to phi m sin minus 180 degree, and that is equals to 0. So we get the value of phi a, phi b and phi c for the condition when omega t is equals to 60 degree. Now make the phasor diagram for this. So in this case phi a is equals to root 3 by 2 phi m, and phi b is minus. So phi b is here, so minus phi b will be in the opposite direction, and the magnitude will be root 3 by 2 phi m. So now make the phasor sum, and the resultant will be phi t, and to calculate the value of phi t is equals to 2 into OA into cos alpha by 2. So phi t is equal to 2 into root 3 by 2 phi m into cos 60 by 2. Phi t is equals to 2 into root 3 by 2 phi m into cos 30 degree. Phi t is equals to 2 into root 3 by 2 phi m into root 3 by 2. The value of cos 30 is root 3 by 2. So we have substituted here. 2 will be cancelled out. We again get 1.5 phi m, means the resultant flux at omega t is equals to 60 degree is equals to 1.5 times of phi m, or we can say the resultant flux at omega t is equals to 60 degree is 1.5 phi m. Let me consider case number 3, that omega t is equals to 120 degree. So substitute the value of omega t is equal to 120 degree in equation number 1, 2 and 3. We know that phi a is equals to phi m sin omega t. So substitute omega t is equals to 120 degree here. So phi a is equals to phi m sin 120 degree is equal to root 3 by 2 phi m. Phi b is equals to phi m sin omega t minus 120 degree, and we have substituted the value of omega t here, that is 120 degree. So we get phi b is equals to phi m sin 0 degree is equals to 0. Phi c is equals to phi m sin 120 degree minus 240 degree. This is the value of omega t. So phi c is equals to phi m sin minus 120 degree is equals to minus root 3 by 2. Now make the phasor diagram for phi a, phi b and phi c. So we know that the phi a is equals to root 3 by 2 phi m. We have calculated it here. phi b is 0 this time, and phi b is here, this is 0. Phi c is equals to minus root 3 by 2, means that this is the magnitude, but the sign is minus. So if this is the phi c, so minus will be in the opposite direction. So this is phi c, this is not phi b, this is phi c. Phi c is equals to minus root 3 by 2 phi m. The resultant flux phi t is equals to 2 into OA into cos alpha by 2. The value of OA is root 3 by 2 phi m, and alpha is 60 degree. So I have substituted the value of OA and cos alpha in this equation. Phi t is equals to 2 into root 3 by 2 phi m into cos 30. So phi t is equal to 2 into root 3 by 2 phi m into root 3 by 2, because cos 30 is root 3 by 2. So 2 will be cancelled out. Root 3 into root 3 is equal to 3 by 2 is equals to 1.5. It means the resultant flux is equals to 1.5 times of the maximum flux. We have found that in all the three cases, the resultant flux magnitude remains same, and that is 1.5 times of the maximum flux, but it is rotating with respect to the value of omega t. Like earlier it was here, here and here, so it's rotating. Okay, so because of this rotating effect, our rotor start rotating as shown in this picture. For the various values of omega t, it start rotating. Its location of the rotor is different as per the direction of the rotor will be based on the value of the omega t. Thank you.